We begin in the Piccadilly Valley near the South Australian capital, Adelaide, where we meet white wine specialist Matt O'Leary.
The Piccadilly Valley, 15 minutes from the heart of Adelaide, is the preeminent region for growing Chardonnay in South Australia and really forms the base for the best Chardonnays that we produce at Wolf Blass. As a region, it has elevation, it's considered cool climate, and really the only cool climate region true in South Australia, and really provides a great position for growing Chardonnay, and Chardonnay with finesse, but good flavours, great structure.
A feature of the Eden Valley, which we visited next, was the number of trees.
A lot of the gum trees you can see behind us, Stephen, they're left within the vineyards. Years ago, they used to be taken out of the vineyards or, cut down and pretty much clear fell. These days, we work with the trees within the vineyard. So, from a sustainability point of view, fantastic for the soils. So, if they remain in creek lines and things like that, we can protect our waterways and protect the water that we're putting on our vines, and therefore keeping salt out of our soils and things like that.
Picking is done by machine because of the vast size of the properties.
But these can quite easily pick up to 15 to 20 tonnes of the hectare. So capacity themselves is quite huge. As far as I guess the tonnes that you can pick within a night will depend on how much the vine's got on it. So we can pick anything from, if we want to go out and pick 10 tonne, pick 10 tonne, or we can pick up to 100 tonne a night.
Okay. And you always pick at night?
With whites, we pick at night, yes, definitely. Obviously, we want to pick during the coolness so we keep the quality of the fruit. And I guess the reds we can pick during the day and at night. So if we need to, we'll run these machines 24 hours a day. So
the McLaren Vale is another prime region for grape growing.
We've been growing grapes down here since 1992, nearly all Cabernet, and we're having a reasonable amount of success here. Our pruning methods, as you can see, are probably a little bit different. The way we prune them, we get the buds right up, way off the cordon, and that lets in, we think, well it does, more light. We can get our sulphur sprays in, the fruit's all spread out over the top, gets more air circulation, and we don't let the vines really stressed, because they take a long while to get over it.
The Barossa, with its more than 13,000 hectares, is one of Australia's biggest wine regions, with a focus on Shiraz. These are the most sought-after vineyards in the valley. Why?
Well, certainly what's locally known as the Ebenezer region, or the northern Barossa. It's the soil. We have a pristine, rich, dark clays that has a beautiful chocolate colour to it. And what happens is it retains a lot of moisture. It's very hard for the vines to extract the moisture out of those rich, dark clays, and produces much smaller berries, black berries, very dark fruits, and with an amazing structural tannin intensity. And whether you're using it as a standalone wine or as a blending component, it is the most consistent, has the most power, most opulence, more of those chocolate characters, and provides a great tool no matter how you want to use it. And that's why everyone works very hard to secure some Ebenezer fruit in the Barossa. Yeah.
Barossa and Shiraz are intimately connected. What are the characteristics of Barossa Shiraz?
So quite often Barossa Shiraz are very rich and concentrated through the mid-palate, and I don't mean heavy, but they've got lovely depth of fruitfulness through the palate, nice balanced tannins, softer tannins that support the fruit. So they're not big extracted wines. You don't have to extract them hard to get the fruit flavours. So you've got lovely fruit flavours, so very much the texture on the palate. Generally the overall characters are more the darker fruits, so things like plums, those sorts of characters, not so much spice. You get spicy characters in cooler climates, so here you get more darker fruits, more richness. But we're really looking for brightness, so we don't pick too late where you get sort of heavy raisiny characters. We're looking for brightness and freshness of fruit, so still quite vibrant and really quite intense, but not too big.
The Barossa has some of the world's oldest vines.
These vines are 122 years old, we think. That's the best knowledge we have on them. They're Shiraz vines. We don't know what clones they are. We think there's clones spread right through the vineyard. We do have a scattering of Grenache vines in it as well, because when they planted it, they sort of just planted whatever stuff they had. Yeah, well, as you can see, these vines are being 100 years old. We have a lot of termite damage coming. Termite damage is not worrying the root systems. You know, the root system on these vines, we've dug down and we've seen them down below 3 metres, 3 to 4 metres. So that just shows that the vines are still working. But yeah, the termite damage is not making any difference whatsoever.
Thank you to Wolf Plus for the chance to learn about South Australian terroir.